Meteor Impact.
Dr. Dmitry, Dmitry, up to you. Looking forward what you have to tell us.
Thank you, Jan. Hello, everyone. It's really nice to meet you and see you today here on the MeteorJS Impact Conference. We are finally back. As already mentioned on the team minutes, it is one of the strongest community I ever seen in open source area, and it is strong because many packages, many projects are maintained for more than 10 years now. So I think everyone who participating in it, including ones who develop websites and web applications, should be really proud of us, of your stuff. So on this note, let's begin the intro into the SEO and MeteorJS. A couple more notes about me. I'm founder and CTO at the Golev Group, the company, the consulting. And then I have a couple of projects which are powered by MeteorJS, of course. It's meteorfiles.com and Australia. I'm founder, author, some of the key packages in Meteor ecosystem. Some of them are it's flow router, files package, cookies, internalization, and other almost, I think, maybe more than 60 other packages. Don't really count them. Prior to this conference, I took some time and finally upgraded the most crucial packages to be compatible with the Meteor 3 and SWC compiler. So if anyone been holding back your upgrades to Meteor 3 or 3.4 because of my packages, I'm really sorry, but I'm really happy now where you can go ahead and do that. So, and thank you everyone who been pushing me forward and reminding about the packages and the need to update and make them compatible. I also have some NPM packages. They're quite used across the Node.js ecosystem as well. It's Mailtime, a package where you can maintain the mail server horizontally spread across multiple web servers. Then Yoast package, which manages on lower level tasks across horizontally scaled Node.js infrastructure, and request libcurl, which makes usage of libcurl library, which is really famous for its stability in HTTP requests. Just breeze of ease with a similar API to request library, very famous one. I've been using Node.js since 2011. I think it was 0.3 back then. Back then we had no front end works. JavaScript was really new. As popular add-on for the browser was, and it was acting as a blocker of all software and ads and everything else. But JavaScript in the browser is something that shouldn't exist and run. So it was quite before React, Angular, and other front-end packages and libraries. Aside to the open source, I've been working as a CTO for many years. I think I'm really experienced in this field and passionate about what I do. I lead the tech teams and have hands-on experience day-to-day in coding and reviewing the code bases and deciding what and how it should be built like an architecture. All right, that's it about me. It was a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about it. Let's go ahead and start with what we're going to learn today. This talk, we focused more on Yes, and tomorrow's talk gonna be focused on more spread, more broad SEO practices beyond the MeteorJS. So let's start talking about the why even a question MeteorJS apps. I think most of the initially when the framework was released, many of them. Now, it was mostly used to build complex reports, so it wasn't considered as a tool. Pages, but there was a lack of demand in SEO and SEO specific features and tools. But we are on my end, we've been using to build all sides of the web applications, the dashboards and the landing pages as well. So right from the beginning, as soon as I started using the MeteorJS, we start adapting it to the SEO best practices. And of course, we started with the server-side rendering or pre-rendering, which was a separate package back then, which made static HTML accessible to the all different sorts of crawl search engines and etc. I think it started with the poll. Just if you've been building only dashboards, only web apps, or you've been building marketing and other public pages within. Started now. Cool. We have 2 yes, 1, 5 more participants. More no's than still.
Sorry to add in, Dmitry.
Go ahead.
We have just reports that quite a few people have that you're like cutting out a little bit. So I'm not sure if there's something on your side that you can quickly try out.
Let me
maybe
try
fix that.
to.
Thank you.
Okay, because I have a poll open, I don't see the chat, I guess. Maybe the mic. Okay, let me try to be a little more louder. Let me know how it sounds. So I published the results of the poll. Definitely have some yes. And so it's good. Single person here today who've been using the Meet to build land. So I hope you will have something in this presentation to pick up and use tomorrow and next week in your projects. So let's start with the basics. So nowadays, in the age of AI as well, there are some changes in how people look for information in the internet, but they apply. So I think we should follow within meta tags and canonicals. There's nothing special needed to MeteorJS. Okay, as well. Okay, let me try without the video. Let me know how it sounds now. I hope it's better. Cool, thank you, Jan. Okay, so to have static meta tags and canonical links in your head, there is nothing special, no additional packages needed in your MeteorJS apps. It can be implemented with the server render package, at code of which we're going to look on the some of the next states. Then, of course, today, the best practice is Z and micro in some sense. So, for example, if you can't implement of the right now, microdata is better, but still JSON of the is better read by the crawlers and AI agents, especially. and there's less maintenance burden on the development when you use JSON LD because it's single tag, and microdata requires you to get additional tags in your pages. So I'm implementing JSON LD as well, and I researched some details. But only 51% of web pages are using JSON. In my further research, only around 30% of those who has it use it correctly. So it is really a great way to get above your competitors in search page results. It's just simply to implement a JSON LD. There's different complexity levels to it, but starting with just simple website and company profiles, edit into this simple format will already get you significant benefit in SEO performance. And going deeper, you can go ahead add markup to all your articles, CQ sections, to subsections. Will get you even further results above your competitors. Then we have server-side rendering, where we output not only the tags in head, but also the content in the body. For React, Vue, and Svelte, for React is no-brainer. It's and all. For Vue and Svelte, there is a little addition, which will you will be static to the server render. And another thing is important for SEO, and one of the basics was already covered in previous talks, especially by Jan Kuster, as performance and size of the bundle. So I'm going to cover a little exact code splitting, how it's managed through the flow router extra package using the dynamic imports. But everything what Jan Kuster said before really well applies to SEO and will boost your score, because web core vitals, core web vitals are really important nowadays for search, and it affects your SEO score significantly. Still, now I want to bring your focus to that Meteor is SEO ready. You don't need to spin up any other side projects, other Git repos to manage your landing pages. You don't need separate projects in Next.js or WordPress or any other additional project, which will, I think, on the development complexity, on the maintenance. I'm suggesting if you already have MeteorJS project, to use it, all parts of it, including the landing pages. Server rendering. This is the simplest way how you can achieve meta tags in your head template on all pages using the one-page load of hook of the server renderer. You can build complex logic, hook up into the sink, read the current link user opening or crawler opening, and provide a different markup. This definitely adds additional load development, but this is the native way to solve meta tags in your HTML. For React, is a little simpler. You can serve and hydrate entire templates. I think it's really common. And hydrated and rendered, the template will get served through the server renderer as well. Svelte is really React, takes few lines, then React. So you render on the server and then serve it as HTML through the server. Vue is really similar as well. A little more lines, but approach is the same. You use library tools to render the template, serve it through the server renderer. There is additional way which I'm using to serve static head and body, which includes only default tags. So it's not per row, but it is a great way to serve the skeleton of your app, serve the splash screen, some other static HTML elements. And when I've been researching it before from talk, I found ChatGPT, for example, and other GPTs, they didn't know about this approach in MeteorJS, and I haven't seen it used heavily in any other projects. So static head is more common than static HTML. So you can create a head file in the root of the client, not the import, just root client head HTML, and whatever into the head, it will get merged with the default head and served statically. Here, the meta tags that I'm not going to on the per row basis. Or alternatively, you can add all meta tags here and let the other libraries to manage it dynamically after the rows are loaded. This is the part which I haven't seen used much. I think Jan, storyteller, was recently working on the package which will simplify this approach. It's called Static HTML Tools. I briefly tried to use it before the conference, but I stumbled upon some errors, so I'm looking forward to trying it again. And I mostly work with it, so I cannot install this package directly to my project because it's going to contain this package. What I have to do is have a local package with this simple description, and within this local package I can ship static body, which it is really simplified from what I have in real life, but I give you a brief feeling what you can. So I usually put the default styles for initial load of the page, which is with the bundle, and then I usually have a couple of additional spinners, loaders, overlay elements. Then after the MeteorJS app is controlled through the JavaScript. So I found this really good approach. The static HTML is always served to all requests, and you can offload some of the things into this tiny local package. I'm going to do another poll quickly, and just want to see what kind of current rendering setup do you have at the moment. Let me quickly bring it together. Okay, poll is out. Oh, was is there way? No,
I'm
I
afraid
don't
not.
think
it again.
Okay, I'll the button freeze for a second and they just click. Okay, I think it started. Cool. Yeah, I will give it some time. While I finish about the server-side rendering. I think it is viable way to serve static HTML to crawlers. I think if you're using a library which supports hydration, is great to serve the fully rendered and rich HTML templates and pages to crawler browsers as well to mitigate this first load lag. And yeah, if you go doing just MetaDex and head, it's still better than nothing. So it is viable way as well. But at the same time, I've seen how it takes time from the developers, not focusing on the product, and especially if it isn't straightforward in your version of React or setup you decided to use, or your hooks, for example, which is it was mentioned today in your talks that Blaze is great. I'm using so, but it is a little not ready for SEO. Because maintenance complexity and to do it to do static serving within MeteorJS. It is definitely adds some complexity, and then no matter how hard you try with SSR, you can run into the what's called cloaking by the search engines. And search engines works in a certain way where they visit most of the pages as static crawl tool without running any JavaScript, because JavaScript budget is really limited. But once in a while, will go to the page and run it with a JavaScript, and will compare it to all previous results when they visit the page without running the JavaScript as a static crawler. And if there will be some mismatches, especially in content displayed to the user, it can entirely block your website from the search results because of what they call cloaking, when you serve different content to the different type of the users and crawlers. Okay, let's get back to the poll results. Okay, most of the users, developers here had tags in the head, and then pre-rendering is quite popular, and the rest are not sure. Okay, interesting. We're going to talk about the pre-rendering as well, closer to the end of my talk. So I already briefly touched the JavaScript execution in modern crawlers, and it applies to AI agents, but 99% AI now they don't execute any JavaScript. Yes, so there's different of the crawlers who execute act as a headless browser. Some of them JavaScript, some of them let's put it this way, and look for different things. For some crawlers, like social bots, which usually go to your page when you post a link just to grab a preview image and grab title and description from your head. Most of them will look only for details in the head, and maybe they won't find what they are looking for in the head, then may send additional requests. as, for example, full headless browser to see the rest of the page. AI and other search engine crawlers and social network bots, they use different strategies and can have multiple requests to your pages. They won't find they are looking for using the tool with the lowest budget. Okay, let's get now to the markup. And this basic that should be implemented in any website, MeteorJS or any other. So, picked certain policies once you develop. Number one is undebatable nowadays. Just use HTTPS, everything HTTP2, have a redirect 301 to the HTTP version of the page. Then with the domain name, you should decide it's either 3W at the beginning or it is a top level domain name without 3W and have a 301 redirect from 3W to the main one or vice versa. Depends from your policy. Then when we speak about the URLs, the rest of the URL, the path, again, you have to have a certain policy on your URL casing and just follow it across the app because different URLs with a different case considered by the crawlers are as a difference. And if you serve the same content over those different pages from their standpoint, this is one of the things they don't like the most. So when the bots see the same page in different URLs, you get a like 70% chance of getting both pages excluded from the search. So this is the anything serving the same page through different is really important part of. And I think most of the items on this slide that to this. So again, trialing slashes to have it at the end of the non-file URLs or have it or don't have them. And if user or bot try to visit the page, which against policy, you have to have again 301 redirect to the canonical page. Okay, then exclude any kind of duplicates which can get caused by the get query. So for example, you have a page with a complex filter, let's say the real estate agents, where you can pick different amount of the rooms in the apartment or house or its location. And if it's all done through the get, but page don't really change much because it isn't the page of the listing, it's just search page. It's very the get very difficult URL. Don't serve it to the bots. Same with the UTM trackers, the links. Don't serve don't serve them to the bots, or always do the correct. Always have correct canonical link in the head to the correct page. So in this case, it's not 301. It's just having correct canonical head element, and you have to respond with the correct if page again against your policy. The URL is 301. If page, it should be 404 response. If page existed before but was removed, it should be 410 response code, and those things are important to follow as well, which is a little bit difficult with the MeteorJS, and can get solved with the things like pre-rendering, for example, without additional burden on the development. Or again, you have to get back busy with the code and implement all those important things. Catch if the crawler bots are coming to your website, and then since if page exists or not, and decide what kind of code you should respond with. All right, let's go next. And then we're getting to the routing and how routing modern one can be used with the purpose of SEO. So already was mentioned one of the key packages in Meteor ecosystem, the Flow Router Extra. I recently updated before this conference as well, so it should be compatible with the recent MeteorJS, all different setups. So I currently try it. Then, in addition to Flow Router, I have two components: is Flow Router Meta and Flow Router Type. You can use to simplify your setup the meta tags and other tags like link, example, to appear in your head of your pages. It isn't static HTML, but it is HTML which will be visible to anyone who runs the JavaScript or pre-rendering tool which runs JavaScript for you and serves snapshot. All different kind of meta tags can be served, and canonical links, and simple way to register the add-ons wrapping the Flow routers. Okay, let's go ahead. Another important thing, site and their locations. Lately, I've been going audits for all different variety of different companies, and so we're kind of becoming a SEO consulting agency. Let's put it this way, and we figure out none of our clients had the correct. None of our clients had the correct location for their sitemap. It is allowed to put them as developers usually do, but it doesn't follow the standard published by the I don't remember really which company standard for the sitemap, but there is one, and it's in websites they doesn't follow the the standard. In simple way, we have a single sitemap which corresponds to all other sitemap, which links to other sitemaps. So we have sitemap index at the root, and then what the standard says, all the sitemaps have to include links under the path they're located. So, for example, we want to have a sitemap which holds all the links under the artist path. So whatever artist text, all those links located in a sitemap XML under the art folder, and so on, as in this example for all the landing top level pages can be located in the file at the root. If you have a simple website, it is okay to don't have a sitemap index at all. So you have single sitemap.xml, which locates all the pages entirely because it is at the root of your project. So it can include all the nested. If you're going into the splitting sitemap and you have many links under certain, like this one, to allocate the sitemaps under those paths. And in our short practice and changing existing sitemaps to follow the standard, it shows the improvement into the scanning the pages and getting pages into the crawler index, because most of the crawlers, they follow the standard and they go to each path and check the existence of the sitemap XML under the each path. page folder without even need to go to appendix and figure out what types exist. My recent discovery as well. I didn't knew about that back a little more than a year ago, and this approach works really well. All right, let's get back to the speed and performance. A little more on the exact code splitting. Yeah, a comment from the Jan. Sitemaps are pain projects, I will be honest. No matter how the website, I'm going to cover a little more sitemaps on the next talk tomorrow. Those additional data you need to supply with the sitemap, including last mod, for example, is real pain, especially on the projects where we build and ship the code of the website. And if you use Next.js or any other modern ones, they put a timestamp of the last node at the moment when the website was built, which is totally incorrect and will screw up your SEO scores because web crawlers really don't like when you kind of cheat on them on last node. So they go in today and tomorrow and they see all the pages stems. They go check it and they're not actually new at all, or maybe few of them. And there's high chance that you're going to lower your. Okay. So, yeah, just a few more words on the exact code splitting. It was covered by the Jan Kuster as well. So, in Flow Router, we have wait on hook, where you can put a sync that your route requires to wait. It can be import, it can describe, it can be Meteor methods, anything what returns the page will wait for it. And it was on the previous call how to show the loading page. We have a separate hook for that in the Flow Router called while waiting. So while waiting for wait on promises to resolve, we display the loading spinner to the users instead of the template, which we call in action. And you can supply the array here, array of the promises or mix of the promises, subscriptions, and methods. So speed is the key. Why it is the key? Because it increases the topic I wanted to minutes to. So it is that a crawler dedicates to your website. So for example, if the crawler dedicates 10 website and each page takes for example 30 seconds to load, so it means in 10 minutes it can load only 20 pages, right? But if your page opens under 100 milliseconds or less, your crawl budget really high, means you first can crawl from your website thousands of pages, and in this sense increases your SEO score moon. Also, websites get a higher in search page results. Most of the crawlers they run for web vitals, and it affects the speed of the website, affects the score really really deeply. Then, of course, users, they prefer fast and lightweight websites, especially on the low-end mobile devices and on the slow and mobile internet connections. Right, let's go next. So if you already have a website, you have some kind of optimization. Let's take a look on how you can think like a bot and look at you like a bot. So the accounts for all different. The first thing we do site and try to see it. Let's see. Will we see any content? Will it be empty page because they don't serve rendered HTML from the server, or we will have fully reached website. So this is the starting point for us right now in analyzing any website from on the SEO standpoint. And for this purpose, we have used Code 8 right now. So we have user agent in header set, and in our browser we use for tests. Later, if you're interested, feel free to text me after the call. There will be a form on the feedback form, the check mark where you wish me to contact you, so I can contact and share all different settings we use for the Google bot and others. User agents, size of the screen. It can be mobile, it can be desktop. This is another important thing about the search engines nowadays. They visit your pages as a desktop crawlers and then as a mobile crawlers. And mobile crawlers are dominant nowadays in the web space. So this is the quick way to see the web page as a bot. Then I listed more examples how it looks like when we switch between different modes. So this is the mobile bot. It has a mobile view. It has different important things like pixel density and signals, browser signals as a mobile. Also, it has API for touchscreen, which is important as well. And OpenAI bot is really similar to Google bot, but it has some additional settings as well. So it is important for us at least to check the website as all three bots. Then what you should do before you go and check it, because most probably you open the website as a normal user, you need to clear the website, make sure all the service workers, JavaScript get cleared out, request the website as a bot. And then what kind of HTML under the network tab, you can find the original HTML file which was responded from the server and check its contents without the prettify function of the DevTools. Then you can go deeper and see the website as a bot through the console, just running CURL function. This is the response of the same website. And in these examples, I use files.golev.com. I will add additional notes about the website. So I use this project. It is open source, and I use it as a field for testing all different kinds of and applying best practices. So this is the response.
Sorry to jump in,
okay.
Dmitry, but we are running out of time. So maybe leave a lot of the details for tomorrow.
Let's leave it for tomorrow. Yeah. So, just to finish, this is the demo app available on the open source. You can go ahead, check everything what was mentioned before. This moment is implemented, and even more what I consider as the best practice in Meteor development and SEO as well. All right. Thank you, Jan. Please take over with the presentation.
All right. Thank you very much for all those for all that information. I think another talk that I will be personally revisiting once I calm myself all down from running the conference, all that stuff. Guys, don't forget, I have the feedback for the talk in the chat on Roti Express. And in the meantime, we have the Meteor team coming in have sad news that sadly Fred, the CEO of Meteor Software, cannot join us because he has a family emergency. So the rest of the team has to step up. But I think that this is also a very nice lineup of all of our core team. So I think we're just missing maybe just a few people. Anyway, Italo, you are the presenter. So